I'm going to show you 6 cycling gadgets that will enhance your rides and, well, just make your cycling life better. And that's because I ride a lot, around 20,000 kilometers a year, and these are things that I find myself using day in, day out that, well, just make life easier or better. And I'm aware that most cyclists, including my mates, don't use these things because they haven't discovered them yet. So I'm going to show you them here. First up is one of these gizmos. It's a digital tyre pressure gauge. This one is made by Dahlback and it's mine. Now, getting the right optimum tyre pressure will dramatically improve your rides by giving you more grip, comfort and lowering your rolling resistance, making you faster. But I feel tyre pressure is still something that many cyclists overlook. We've recently done videos on the importance of tyre pressure and we've even measured it in a lab. And it's massive. If you have a really nice, good quality tyre, but it's at the wrong pressure, it'll often perform worse than a cheap tyre at the optimum pressure. But now, of course, I know many of you will be looking at the screen right now going, I'm aware of all this. I've gone on the Silka tyre pressure calculator and I've worked out my optimum pressure for a given ride. Well, you might have done that, but most track pumps that people use to inflate their tyres aren't actually that accurate, and they're typically not going to be accurate to plus or minus 5 psi in order to fully optimize your pressure. Whereas this handy gadget provides really precise readings. So typically what I'll do is overinflate my tyres a little bit with a track pump and then stick this on, and then using the bleed valve button on the back, just press that to release the excess pressure down to the exact psi that I want. And then I'm good to go. And they're really nice and compact as well, so it's very easy to, take this with you when you're traveling. I recently took this to Mallorca and was using it to get accurate tyre pressures when I was away riding my bike in a dream location. Next is this little thing. This is a pad centering tool. If you have disc brakes on your bike, do yourself a favour, get one of these, and then you can thank me later. Maybe with a super thanks down in the comments section. The reason being that they're inexpensive and they make centering your disc brake pads and your rotors super, super quick and easy. You simply place it over the rotor, loosen the caliper bolts, pull the lever, tighten the caliper bolts, and done. There are hacks you can use, like people often suggest using a business card to space the distance between your pads and your rotors, but this just works way better. This was actually given to me a few years ago by Wolfie, from Wolfie's Bike Shop fame. And it, still got it, works like a charm. Cheers, Wolfie. Next is a torque wrench. Torque wrenches are blooming great. Now, most of the bolts on your bike require a specific torque setting, and it baffles me how many people never use a torque wrench. If you under-tighten bolts, then typically things will work loose while you're riding. I've seen people's crank arms come off mid-ride. I've seen people's seat posts slip. I've seen, people's bottle cages come loose, start to rattle, and then even fall off. And at the very least, something will just, come loose so that you have to stop at the side of the road. Now, in a ride, this is an inconvenience and it's annoying, but if it's in a race, that could be a race over. And conversely, if you over-tighten things and apply too much torque, then, well, you can damage components, and if they're carbon, you can crack them as well. So having a torque wrench is an absolute no-brainer. Like I said, it baffles me that more people don't have them. Now, you can get yourself a trusty workshop grade one, such as this nice one from Park, but you're not going to want to take this one with you. It has all the different heads as well that go on it, it's just rather large. And that's where something more portable, such as this, comes in. So this is a mini ratchet rocket set from Dahlback. This one is mine, and it really is something that I just can't live without. I absolutely love this thing. It's ideal for long rides or whenever you travel anywhere, or bike packing and things like that. It's got loads of different heads in there. It's got a torque adapter on the end there so that you can get most of the torque settings that you would need on a bike. It even has a chain breaker as well. Absolutely love it. I even have one that's built into my Elementa saddle pack. Absolutely love this. It's probably my favourite gadget in the entire world, and just super useful at reaching little awkward, hard to reach bolts on your bike as well. Things like bottle cage bolts. But one final thing on tools, so especially torque wrenches and things that have either Allen key heads or torque key heads on them, and that is, don't buy cheap. Because in our experience, if you buy like cheap budget ones, often the tolerances aren't as good and the quality of the steel that's used isn't as good, meaning that they typically wear out the bolt heads on your bike and often round them out. So there you go. Next is something else that's inexpensive, will save you money and improve your bike's performance. We've said it before, but not everyone got the memo. A chain checker tool. There are loads of different types out there and they vary in accuracy, but having spoken to some experts, they recommend this particular one, which is great because it's very simple and easy to use. It has one part and it has very high levels of accuracy. It's also cheaper than some of the other ones. It's just a simple laser cut piece of steel. Checking your chain's wear will allow you to replace it before it's too worn. If you allow it to get too worn, it will wear your cassette and chain rings, meaning they need to be replaced too, which is just chucking money away. Just one important pro mechanics tip for you, and that is always measure your chain wear after you've degreased, stripped and cleaned your chain, and do it before you reapply some wax or some lube. That's because the dirt that's crammed inside your chain or the new fresh wax and lube will pack out the chain, and that will give you a false reading on the wear in your chain. Not all bottles are created equal. I've used loads of bottles over the years, and this isn't any old bottle, not because it's a GCN one, although that does make it special, but this is a Camelbak bottle, and the best feature about it is that it has a special nozzle cap which can be fully disassembled by taking all the bits off, which allows you to clean it and therefore have a more hygienic bottle. The bacteria and microbes that can accumulate inside your bottle isn't just gross. It's also actually really surprising, quite alarming, how much and how bad the stuff that can grow inside bottles actually is. And it amazes me how many people just don't seem to clean their bottles at all, and well, or enough. And so properly cleaning your bottles inside with a good old bottle cleaning brush is recommended, and having a valve that completely comes apart so that you can get access to all the nooks and crannies and parts is absolutely brilliant, because having an unhygienic bottle can completely ruin your performance. You might think that's alarmist, but well, if you get sick and it's because of a bug that you've picked up from your bottle, you're not going to know it's from your bottle, but it could completely ruin all your performance fitness gains that you've been making over the last few months. And another nice feature as well is having a good valve that can lock on the top of the bottle is really good because it just prevents leaks. And sometimes, you lift up your bike, or whatever you're doing, and your bottles just leak out, or if you put the bike in the back of a car or whatever. We've all been there. And at number 6, we've got Aero socks. I've nailed my colours to the mast. I'm on this hill and I'm going to die on it. People think Aero socks are silly. Well, look, you're wrong. Look, if you're bothered about going faster and you don't wear them, then you're silly. People spend thousands on Aero bikes and wheels to go faster, but won't entertain Aero socks. Aero socks cost a fraction of the price and typically save between 2 and 10 watts, which is loads. I get it, not everyone wants to be faster, but if you do, then Aero socks are one of the best bang for buck, low-hanging fruit options out there. Not too high though, because, well, you don't want to upset the UCI sock police, even though they have no jurisdiction here. It's more because, well, you're not at school anymore. But that's not all. Now, for a bonus gadget, I said I was going to do 6, actually done 7, so I lied to you. Sorry about that. But it's only because I love you. So get yourself one of these. This is a microfiber wash mitt, typically used to wash cars. Now, you can pick these up for a few pounds or dollars, and they're really, really good at cleaning bikes, and far better than the harsh brushes that most people seem to use on their bikes, which scratch and mar the lacquer and paint on your bike. This is much more friendly, and they're really good and can make bike cleaning really quick. They're great at getting around your wheels and inside your frame and inside the spokes and stuff. Really useful. But for those more intricate areas, something that's free and isn't going to cost you anything is to use an old toothbrush. These are wicked when you're cleaning your like hubs and like your derailleurs and places like that. So simply save your old ones, don't chuck them away, and then you've got a handy little bike cleaning brush. Brilliant. So there you have it, a bunch of cycling gadgets you didn't know that you couldn't live without. If you've enjoyed this video and found it useful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe and all that if you haven't already. Really helps us out. And also, let us know in the comments your suggestions of gadgets that you really can't live without, because I always love hearing your suggestions. And I've actually taken a lot of suggestions from people's comments in the past that I've then ended up putting in videos. So great, please keep them coming. Love you, bye.